Hello, everybody. I am Yolanda Marie. Listen, I have a message from the Arcturians today. If you are in a cycle of resistant healing or resistance to healing, if there's a resistance to healing, some sort of deep wound is what they're talking about, or some sort of trauma, some sort of cycle in itself that doesn't want to end, right? So, where it feels resistant, where it feels like you think you've healed it and then it comes back again and again and again, there is some energy right now, or rather, the condition of the energy on the planet. And yes, this is also going to correlate with planetary alignments in some ways. So, definitely, you astrologers out there, and I know there are many, so many good ones. You guys either check in with those astrologers, or if it's you, double check the planetary alignments to see where this syncs up. But what the Arcturians are saying is flow into your creativity, flow into your artistry, flow into whatever makes you feel pleasure. What do you enjoy doing? Flow into that. Okay, so this is tapping into the inner child once again. Remember, we're going into that energy on a planetary level eventually. That's where we're headed, is into this inner child creativity, inner child development, because the child dreams that were broken midstream are what we're here to bring back into fruition, and that's what's going to help the planet flourish, like truly flourish, the whole, not just the few, but the many. So this is tapping into that. And so one avenue into it, and that's coming through now, thank you, is to go into that inner child dream itself, would be one way to look at this. So if you can't think of anything that's bringing you joy right now, or some sort of work that is maybe looked at like a hobby, but it's really your work, okay, this sort of thing. Or if you just love your work, if you're not in that group of people who has that to rely on or that to reference, really go into your childhood dreams to create. This is going to help you break whatever is going on. So the word break, I'm being asked to revisit. So we'll revisit that word because break it holds such a connotation of force, not necessarily negativity, but force. And this is a flowing time. That's what's coming through now. Okay, so you really want to flow into this. I am seeing water. Okay, I'm still seeing that rush of energy that looks like electricity, but right now it's more like water. Okay, so you definitely want to flow into that feminine, and this definitely includes the masculine. It definitely is going to include you men. You have each. You have some masculine, you have some feminine energy, you hold a balance. And your masculine energy, the action behind that is, for most of you, going to outweigh the feminine energy in terms of your doing, okay, like how you engage. So don't worry about that. Let that be what it is. That's natural. But flow into those creative spaces when you're in thought, when you're in the thought process, when you're nurturing yourself and thinking about yourself. How do you feel good? This is what is being talked about, because there is a blockage. There's like, it almost looks like a fork in the road, where the bottom of the fork is completely stopped up, and you almost want to get those beavers out to break the dam. You know what I mean? Like, you really want to get something in there to sort of wedge that open a little bit, right? So it's not really a breaking so much as it is allowing something to flow so it can naturally fix itself. So it's very much like the message about the 5-5 portal energy, very much like that. But this isn't exactly the same thing. This is where people, many are just running into a roadblock of specifically a wound, specifically something that just keeps wanting to come. It's like a scab being picked. That's so gross, right? We're going to get into that right now. It's like somebody is picking a scab again and again. They just won't let it heal, right? But you're not doing this on purpose. It's the flow of energy on the planet. It's the ebb and flow. Okay, the tide coming in, the tide coming out. There's a balancing happening right now. And right now, that tide is coming in very far. The pendulum is swinging very far still at this time, because people are uncovering what it is they really want. They're angry. There's just lots of emotions. So that's very heavy, more dense quantum activity in the field where that's concerned. Okay, so that is going to be what's going to come in and rip that scab off. I hope that's making sense, you guys. So flow into the feminine creative aspect, if you will. What's going to happen is you're going to see that there's going to be a flood, like a little bit of a flood start to trickle in toward you that will let you know it's really healing this time. You know, like things are going to start moving. It's going to start moving. Maybe flood wasn't the right word, but yeah, there's going to be movement, okay? And you're going to see resources is also coming through, okay? You're going to begin to see resources. Maybe they're resources to help you heal. Maybe they're resources because the wound has lifted, and so it took the quantum activity with it that might have been blocking something from coming in, okay? Something like that. But that's the message, okay? I hope you guys are feeling well, doing well, taking care of yourselves. I love you so much, beautiful soul family, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Namaste.